Hi there. Good afternoon. I'm Justin Kapani. Well, actually, it's good evening. I'm Justin Kapani. I'm the founder and CEO of I'm Decor Design. We're in the business of designing and manufacturing home and office decor and interior solutions. If you, by chance, caught me on your phone, video, Facebook, social media, YouTube, or whatever, I think it's a good sign from the universe, and you need to tune into people like me. There's so many others that you follow, so I'm sure you could spare about 5 to 10 minutes of your time to hear and listen to what I have to say. I'm Jashin Kapani. I'm the founder and CEO of I'm Decor Design. We're in the business of designing and manufacturing home and office decor and interior solutions. I bring with myself an experience of more than 24, maybe 25 years in designing, manufacturing, global PR, communication. Yes, now entrepreneurship is something which I'm a part of and stuff. But the main business is of designing and supplying home and office decor and interior solutions, where we have a vast array or a gamut of products and services, interior solutions, and decoration. Does not mean decking up or decoration like wedding and stuff like that. Some people don't get it correctly, but it's actually the science and design part of your spaces, which is including furniture, which is lamps, mirrors, consoles, business tables, conference table, chairs, also kind of assisting or recommending on art and installations and stuff like that. And I've spent a lot of my time also in retail, so I've worked on more than probably 3,000 or 4,000 brands, and I've had the opportunity to also be associated with big personalities and people from the industry. Mr. Ratan Tata is one of the people I'm highlighting here because he's from our line of work and stuff, where they've had retail verticals and stuff like that. Otherwise, I've been associated with a lot of people from various brands, and being an entrepreneur also gives you an exposure to interact and meet and greet with global leaders and bureaucrats, and countries like Korea, Japan, what else? US. Uh, I mean, the list is endless. It's not about introducing myself, but the point is, this is about evaluating your contacts to identify relationships and stuff. Why am I I'm highlighting this? Why am I highlighting this? I'm highlighting this because I've been on a retreat, like a, I would say a spiritual retreat, but I'm just taking it off. I'm taking it easy. Many of the people know that I've had some health concerns over the last few years. All is good by God's grace right now, so it's like 90-92% recovery. And I had a tooth extraction, so my tooth is also off and on paining and stuff, and neck cervical. Many people know what happens is that, but I'd like to believe it's also the weather, because on certain days you get up with some real bad headaches and stuff like that. Yesterday was one day, and as I spend my time at home in silence, or probably disconnected from social media and only connecting with people I really know well, or just reading and kind of following information and stuff which is relevant to me, and not being into too much of the outside world, my realization was, when you're not feeling that great, what's really important is the relationships you have with people, either offline or online. Online, I wouldn't like really stand up much for, because if you really want to have a conversation with someone and the person doesn't reach out to you, or you're not in touch with the person, then the conversation is just something which is happening in thin air. I call it a circus happening online many a times, because you're connected with people you've not even met, you don't even know. It's always a good idea to be in touch with people you know. And of course, the ones who have been with you in your journey, which is going on, it's going to go on for many years and stuff. Life is long, life is beautiful, life is amazing. So you have so many friends and so many, relationships that you have over the years and stuff. So I got thinking about that, and I've also been catching up with some of my friends, I normally do that. I'm very social that way and stuff. But one particular friend of mine I met after 4 years, and it was just like meeting college children, or just how college children meet, or how you are when you're like in college and stuff. Okay, so I'm inspired to share my thoughts here on my own realizations, which is also in this book, and it's a book which is very similar to an interior designer, and it's about connections that you have in other places, which is on LinkedIn, which is on Facebook, on other social platforms. I don't know. I find people suggesting join Twitter, be on some ICQ or Bumblebee and all that. I mean, man, if you're going to be only on social media, what world are you going to be in if you're not in the real world? Okay, so it's easy to get drifted into the world of social media and stuff. So very important is to kind of be in touch with reality, which is the now. So the now is this moment. For me, this is the language and the thought process that I've been sharing. Also, the Haigi, the Danish way of living, or the Japanese way of living, being in the now and stuff. So, what are the connections that are important for you? What are the ones that really add value to you? You got to question those sometimes, because as you are changing, as you're upgrading, or maybe you're evolving, you're not the same person what you were 10 years back. You're not going to be the same person which you're going to be 10 years later. One doesn't know how life is going to be. But the point is, there are a lot of changes which happen in men, women, girls, boys, or whatever. So the point is to question those and to highlight which are the ones which make you feel good and great, and which are the ones which don't kind of make you feel amazing. And like I said, it's like a circus. It's just going on and on and on and on. You don't even know each other. You're just posting at the time when the person appears. You're just trying to get noticed and stuff. You're just trying to create some drama, or just highlight so and so like my post. See, I know so and so person, I got a like from her, I got a like from him and stuff. Is that all really worthwhile? Because when you go offline, those likes don't matter, right? I mean, nobody knows which are the genuine ones, which are not the genuine ones. So my share is now, to keep it short, captioned as identifying joy sparking relationships. So as we clean up our mental space, as we clean up our cupboards, as we clean up our rooms, as we clean up our shoes, as we clean up our office, as we clean up the clutter, as we are kind of engaged in meditation and spiritual practices or mindfulness or whatever, a lot of stuff comes up. You have a lot of realizations and stuff. What's benefiting you, what's not working for you, what are you liking, what are you not liking and stuff. So you're going through that journey of changing. So now relationships are also going to change. So to question the fact that which are the relationships which are really helping you, is tuning into a certain person giving you some good information? Is it helping you improve, grow your knowledge, grow your acumen? Is it helping you kind of enhance your knowledge? Is it helping you think differently? And the most important is that when you think of the person, when you log in or when you check out the person's profile, how do you feel? You feel good, you feel angry, you feel like punching people because you're not being able to do something with them. You want to meet up and you want to spend more time with them. You want to kind of go out with them. You want to kind of, get to know them better. You kind of want to be in their circle. You want to know them better and stuff. So those are all positive emotions and signs of healthy relationships and stuff. And at the same time, when you're a part of a group that you've grown out of and you can't relate with, I mean, you suddenly have realizations that you can't click anymore. And what was making sense maybe 6 years back, 7 years back is not making sense now. So what I normally recommend is that when you open up your Facebook, when you open up your social media, when you check your visiting card folders and stuff, when you check your diaries and stuff, try and think and ponder about each person and what is it that you remember. So does it spark joy? Does it spark happiness? Does it spark does it spark creativity in you? Does it make you think about something new? Does it I've already shared it. Does it give you a new perspective, or does it kind of get you down? You don't feel like meeting the person. You don't want to talk to the person. You've had enough of it. It reminds you of a real bad phase of your life. We all have a journey, we have good experiences and bad experiences. So it doesn't take rocket science or therapy to help you and stuff. It's very simple. Ask yourself 3 4 questions. Do I feel good following this? Do I gain something after I spend time following this person? Do I feel safe when I'm kind of checking out this person? Am I and I'm in touch with this person and their contacts and stuff? And lastly, is it helping me improve and reach my goals? They don't have to be always work related goals. They can also be personal goals. You don't always meet up your friends or your business associates or your mentors or your collaborators or people on board with you or the artists who are with you or the team is with you only for work. Sometimes you even chill. So these questions when posed help you understand and kind of figure out where is it that you need to fine tune and stuff like that. So give yourself permission to be choosy about your connections, rather than impulsively responding to every LinkedIn or Facebook request because of the short term high that you get. Always a good question to ask yourself: am I obligated to accept the Facebook request because I'm feeling I want to be uh, showing off more number of likes, more number of people? Am I genuinely wanting to have a connection with them? Do I really want to connect with them offline? And if you met the person, take them online. That's the best thing to do. And many social media platforms, as you see right now, are harping and talking so much about Elon Musk and Mr. Trump. The point is that half the story we don't even know, and every day it's appearing on our walls. We are, like bombarded by it. Creativity goes for a toss. Every time you open up your social media, there's Elon Musk happening, there's Trump happening, and stuff like that. So people who are not interested in it are not interested in following it. So in that case, what do you do? In that case, the question is that do you still want to follow this because it's not interesting you, or you're not enjoying it, or do you just disconnect from it, or you just kind of do nothing about it? So if you're a creative person, if you're an intellectual person, if you are an ideas person, always recommended rather than getting too much into social media, video posts and stuff like that. Always a good idea to have some books. So here's a book. Have some books on your table, because as you read these books and stuff like that, again, I'm reminding people, you're cutting off the outside noise. You're not entertaining anybody's nonsense. Yes, voices do play in our head. I mean, after all, we're human beings. I mean, I've already shared this so many months back. If you go for a walk and you were to have chats with children, they would say the same thing, that before they sleep, they've seen a puppy, so they're going to invariably think about a puppy. So if you followed someone before sleeping, or you're kind of following them too much, obviously it's going to grow on you, right? So the point is to be selective in what you follow, what you allow to grow on in you and stuff. And when you want to be more creative, always a good idea to kind of be in the now and focus on topics of interest and stuff like that. So what I see is that a lot of people do a lot of stuff, so they look really dynamic, they look really kick-ass and stuff. But then there's another school of thought, which I'm not saying this, but other people say that sometimes people look a little confused and stuff. Too many things looks like too many eggs in the basket and stuff. So always a good idea to kind of stick to your core. If you know that you have 3 4 strong points, stick to those. But at each stage you're evolving and you're growing. So like I said, what you like 10 years back, it's not important that you like it now. I mean, I used to love being around media people and stuff like that, but now I don't know what, some changes happen, and I'm like, I do have friends who are in the media. I do talk to media people. I do talk and thought shares on media houses and stuff like that. But if I were to open up my list and see how many of my friends are in the media, they're very few. So that's a change and a journey which you have to go through on your own when you're kind of, escalating and stuff. Relationships fall apart, jobs fall apart, career changes happen. You leave some people behind, some people join you back, and with some people you reconnect and you pick it up from where you left it and stuff. So in a nutshell, good relationships are not just about being on social media. Good relationships are also about being in touch with your friends and your family and relatives, and your nephew, nieces, and your relatives and stuff. And social media, if you can spend so much of time on social media talking to strangers and posting on other people's posts and stuff. You can always take out 2 minutes to actually write into your family members and people you care for. Yeah. So, love you, luck, and take care. Have fun, have a blast, and cheers on. If it looks like scotch, it's not, it's actually iced tea. So, cheers to you. Rather than being harsh on yourself, love yourself. If you've grown out on something, you don't have to force yourself to be in something. You have to go through that journey, no matter how painful it is or how much it hurts or whatever. But the point is, drop the connections which are not adding joy and happiness to your life. If you dread upon picking up the phone, or you feel angered on picking up the phone, or you're not comfortable talking to someone on the phone, if you do not have positive emotions about that person, it is a complete no no. Love yourself, avoid yourself, stay away from that rather than challenging yourself, because you see, the world has a lot of competition and stuff like that, a lot of challenges and everything. But the point is, people don't understand that when you're in very high or dynamic competition, then the souls of a lot of people get affected, and your genius goes for a toss, or your creativity goes for a toss. You get stuck, or or you're pulled into people's drama. You left behind those people, but because of social media, they don't want to go away, or they're not choosing to go away and stuff like that. So you have to be very clear on choosing your peace over other people's circus and drama and stuff, okay? So jkapani at gmail.com, jasinkapani.im at gmail.com, jasinkapani official gmail.com. Take it easy. Weekend is almost around the corner. Watch some movies, watch some good cartoons, read some good books,